Hello, hello, everyone. How are y'all doing today? Hopefully well. Hey, Piranha. Hey, Scallion. Why isn't the game up? Excuse me? Did it load something different? Some games do this thing where... Okay, no, everything is there. The pit, and it's pretty damn good. The pit. Is there a pit? Maybe. Did I, like, minimize the game? What the hell? What's happening? This is the first time I've seen... Ah, yep, there it is. There we go. But yeah, how have y'all been doing? Heated rivalry, physically shaking. I cannot wait for the next episodes. Hell yeah. Well, good raving review for it. Yeah. But how was y'all's week? How are y'all doing? Besides watching the pit, of course. I'm finishing up eating right now. I went into town and I am eating one of my favorite, if not my favorite, like chicken tender place, because they have the best, like, bourbon barbecue sauce for the things, and it's just so good. So I'm eating leftovers currently, and my god, have y'all eaten today? Say yes. But I'm excited to finish this today, hopefully. As much as I would like to have another long day today, I have prior engagements that I cannot go over. But we either may double dip tomorrow, or maybe have like a second stream later today or something. The next episode is 25th, and Pit's next season is starting January 8th. Oh! I thought it was heated rivalry, as in you were saying there was heated rivalry in the pit. Failed horribly. I saw the candy. They look good. The candy looks solid. What do you mean? But I'm so excited to continue this. Hopefully we can find the way forward. Because this game has made me lost a few times. But this is such a good game. This is a game that I really have been enjoying. It's probably because you burnt it. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Overcooking is the worst. Well, you're your own worst critic, you know? If you cooked it perfectly, why did it taste bitter and burnt? I think citric acid is sour. Wait, hold on. I'm confused. You're giving me conflicting information. Was there too much citric acid, or did you not add it in? Which is it? It can't be both. You can't add too much of something that you didn't add in the first place. Too much. Well, citric acid is sour, right? So wouldn't it taste sour if it was too much citric acid? Which at that point, it's pretty good. Because that's what sour is. Sour is acidic. It gets weird. Maybe. All I'm saying is that if it tasted burnt, it's probably because you burnt something. Somewhere. Some ingredient got burnt somewhere. Or, and this is probably accurate here, you and I have different definitions of burnt. I mean overcooked. That means certain part of the ingredients got overcooked and ended up burning. It's not like there's smoke and it's black and crusted over. Like, that's not what I mean. I mean overcooked to the point where it is essentially broken down. And then you have that taste. Too early and it caramelized early and burnt. Because there's different levels, right? It could be burnt without looking burnt. It was just cooked too long. And the taste reflects that. It's the same for, like burning garlic. It's easy to overcook garlic, and it creates a very bitter taste. It was still too hot. Yeah. I did steal candy from another team. Was another team a baby? Hey, Piranha. How are you doing, my guy? Yeah, celebration emote. Hope you like it. I try to make it so that they would line up, but unfortunately there's like the lines between each emote, so it doesn't seamlessly, you know, merge. Finishing up some food now. How have you been, Brana? The other team out of the right amount of things. Yeah, cooking's pretty good when you do it all properly. Good. Well, cold in a good way or bad way? I should probably follow that up. See, I like cold. I run hot. Apricot. Well, regardless, it was impressive. It was impressive that you made it. I'm sorry it didn't turn out well. But, yeah. Took care of like adult things. By that I mean like patch my back wheel up on my car. Got a haircut. Very boring adult stuff. It is flowing in constantly. I am sorry? Or I'm happy? See, I still don't know. I like flow. As long as are you comfy? Let me follow up with that. Are you comfy? Or are you uncomfy? I think that will clarify. Comfy. Yeah! Alright. I'm glad. I see this from another team, different period, and it just straight up tasted like weed. Did they add, like... Did they add abstract? Like... They're probably making, like, some kind of weed candy. Probably snuck it in. Manga, oh. Gotcha. I didn't even realize that was a thing. Not time for the roof of the downfall of a team. True. Listen, if the result is everyone gets to eat some candy, you root for the other team too. Alright, last fry. Delicious. That bourbon barbecue sauce slaps so hard. It's so good. Man, I wish they would just sell it separately so I could just order it. Because, damn. But, I understand why they don't. They say it's because, so that people keep coming back, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong. Not a competition, I want to point out. Yeah, but if you have different teams, people sometimes turn it into a competition, you know? Alright. Because that we cannot go over today. Although the one that had the completely burnt out kidney did not even taste sweet. It tastes bitter, and I had to spit it out. No! Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Bitter is very alcohol is very bitter. Okay. I have food, I have drink, I have water. It is time for spooky, scary game, and hopefully we can find a way through. We can continue on from last time. Let's see. Slot 3. We have 5 hours in. Hell yeah. Hopefully we can finish it today. Hello! We are back. Interesting. Interesting. I remember what we need to do. We need servers inactive. How do we activate servers? Can I do this? Oop. Oh, there we go. Begin reboot. Oh, we need to activate. Okay, we need to activate the server. Activate the server. Activate the server. None of these are the servers. Okay. And there's also from what I remember, the pass. My God, the fabled pass. If you know, you know. Imaging 01. It was systems, right? And then we need to like unjankify this. Yeah. And apparently there's a monster somewhere in here. Oh, I remember. There was also a bathroom and a locker that we needed to unlock somewhere. Is there a locker somewhere in here? During the canal sample, one of the crew collected rocks, core tubes, list of mucus substance returned. Oh yeah, this is where we talked about mucus, and it was just like, mucus is actually pretty important to biology. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's true. It's true though. Here's the servers. So we open the servers, but the servers look like this. I don't know what this means. So I think there's something we're supposed to turn on that has to deal with the servers. All right. Let's see, how about over here? Prong 02. Prong 02? I hardly knew her. I don't know. I'm just saying shit now. Yes. Oh, perfect. Anything? Okay. Okay, so lift servers are on. Door imaging, hold on. Let's do prong 2 just to see. Oh. Yeah, let's look at prong 2. Let's see. What security are you? Level 3. We are not at level 3. So, oh, now that we turned it off, what does it look like now? Let's see. Okay, the door is just shut. All right. The door is shut. It was made by those who are dead. The way is shut. All right. Prong 2, doesn't matter. Live servers, sweet. So, it's open. I do not know what it's for. Okay. So, when we turn on our X-ray, right? We have an arrow that points to this locker and how important it is. This is a very important locker. Very important blocker, Wazowski. Alright. And then... But the strange thing about this locker... Oh. Is this highlighted? The important... it is not giving any fingerprints. Right? It's not giving any fingerprints. You're not giving any fingerprints. In fact, you are full of what it can only be described as plant tendrils. Let's see here. Those are arrows that are pointing over here. And then over here should be, yeah. That would... So ominous, dude. Okay. Wait, how is our... Yeah, we're fine. I wonder if there is a thing for showers over here. Because this gate has been closed this whole time, right? Oh. Okay, so we have this X here, right? That's another thing. There's an X here. Right here. I see it in person. So what if we hit... What if we hit it with a... Papa! Nothing. How about you? What if we hit you with a... Papa! Okay, so these are not doing anything. But... Again... No fingerprints on the code. That's where I'm lost. I'm lost where it looks like this is supposed to be something important. It says for us to go this way. I have a sneaking suspicion I'm supposed to open this. But we need to find the thing that opens it. Do you have any information? Hello? Do you have any information? Barbara. Something tells me we've already read this because, I don't know, just a sneaking suspicion. Diary, EL, oh, I don't understand. 1 minute I was working at Annex helping with the EL9 disinfectant, and the next I was sitting in the pass just staring at the canal. Are they, yeah, apple tree, cycling, okay, so we have read this. Interesting. Nothing over there. There's this one where I'm just like, whoa. I remember that. Alright, what about you? Lift. Maybe lift entrance is what we need. Not door reception. Why can't we open this one? Oh! Global power usage. What door is this? Commons 1? Okay. Lift entrance I don't think is accurate, actually, now that I think about it. Because that's servers... That's the servers for the lift that we unlocked. But we don't know... Henry's terminal. They said running additional tests to scoop samples that she'll know, blah blah blah. Answer the call. Now you're ready to embark on our journey. I remember this one. We're kind of just looking for codes now. I think either we're looking for codes or I don't know. If I walk away from this, will it still play? It will. It won't. Alright, oh. Yoop. And boop. Because here's the thing. We definitely need to open this, but let's see if there's a way to get over there. I don't look it. This place looks interesting. I mean, we've already been here, but 3476, right? That's the sample number, which gives me pause. Actually, I have hands. I'm sorry. 3, 4, 7, 6. Okay. 3, 4, 7, 6. Okay. No. So that one is not 3, 4, 7, 6. Are you 3, 4, 7, 6? 3, 4, 7, 6. So no. Nothing like being stuck here. Okay, let's also check over here. Yeah, that's a completely new area, from what I could tell. And then, so like, because there's all this, right? This opens this. That's my understanding. We need this code to open this door. But we don't know the code. That's why I'm starting to think... No, I heard the audio, and then it disappeared. Good to know. I wanted to see if the audio was going to do it, but we have a couple of things now that we know are like hurdles that we need to jump through, but I don't know which one is causing issues for which thing. Right? So, first hurdle. Server room. Unlocked. But not interactable. Oh. I didn't realize the flash took energy. That's honestly crazy. I thought I saw a recycle bin thing not far from here. Maybe the flash takes up a charge when it opens the door. I don't know why it happens when it opens the door and not for literally anything else. All right. See, look. Full charge. So, like, this is the server room. This is, like, the whole thing. We want to reset the servers. This is the server room. The servers for the server room. For the serving. And yet, here we are. Still stuck. So, what I probably should have done. I should have done a little bit of homework. Imaging O2. Oh, yeah. Let's double check in here. That one we need. It's a level 3, I believe. And then this is just a way out. And then that's the recycle thing. Yeah. Yeah, we need like a level 3 security. So, we know we need level 3 security. I think We need to get to a certain point in order to get that. Commons O2. Come on. Where, why can I, there we go. No? It's not taking up a charge. So we're looking for codes to open some stuff. This room is just the whistling room. Every time I come into this room, there's something whistling. Which is interesting, to say the least. Let's see. Hold on. And boop. Surely you joust. Alright. So, tasks. That's the turn on. I need to locate and turn on the servers to continue the archive boot sequence. Right. But how do I turn on the damn servers? None of the database stuff. If I imagine what I need to do is by turning on the servers by highlighting similar to before, and then there's like a little thing that's just like, oh, if you flash this, you get the passwords. I also think it might be one of these. Though there's a part of me that's just like, maybe not. So we have 2 areas, 2 passwords, a security clearance, and I'm like, there's something we're missing. There's something here that we have not gotten. We went right last time, right? Let's check left. Anything over here? No. Okay, this might be something. Yeah, that's nothing. That's just keeping the doors open for us. And the echo room, the echography, is a level 3 that we can't even move forward with. So again, nothing. Bro, I'm in the server room. Tell me what you want. Is there any, like, scan thing? This is where I shocked myself against the gate out of frustration. I'll give myself 30 minutes. If I don't find it in 30 minutes, then I'm just gonna... Let me check back here. Now, this is the goop room. Oops. Is there anything on this wall? What if there was a code right there? Because there's you, but there's nothing on you. You're just plant matter now. You're literally fertilizer. Me when I'm literally fertilizer. Let's see. Oh! This is just door comments. Damn. I thought I was so excited for a second. I'm like, is it around here? I was so excited. Alright. Is there something to do with this? No, that's nothing. But that's how, why is there just ones for specifically for this door? I guess it's to keep you from getting locked out, right? And then we have these. Insignificant, blah, blah, blah. I try to track his movement, so he's only one left in the ward with security level 2. Any findings will be sent to archive terminal for everyone to access. Okay. So, literally just... Yeah, so we're all locked out. We're tether partners, blah, blah, blah. Level 2. We used to use puzzles together downtown when we were on the mission. I'll see if I could take a few guesses figuring out the code. But I need you help to how to get the door open. I'm not sure his mental state. Did I not read this? Hold on. Hi, Callie. Someone isolated themselves in the vestibule and reset the codes. I think it might be James in there, but he's not answering. I haven't been able to do a manual override of his security O2 actions, so we're all locked out. Your tether partners, right? Did he mention anything to you after the time you were at the moon service? Okay. I'm concerned about James. He started to spend a lot of time in the vestibule recently. Locked himself in there, responding, blah, blah, blah. He used to do puzzles together at the downtime when we were in a mission training to see if I can get a few guesses figuring out the code. But I need your help to get the door open. I'm not sure of the mental state. Are you free in the next hour? Sure thing. I'll meet you at your terminal. See, that's... I know it's at a terminal somewhere, but I thought I looked at all the terminals. Like, what am I? Alright, let's see here. What's interesting is that the arrows don't really pop up until we're near the whistling room. But the, like, what puzzles? What puzzles? I feel like I'm going insane. I bet you it's on a terminal that I didn't look at. I bet you it's on a terminal I didn't look at. That's why I thought it might have been this one. Barbara's terminal? What did they say? I'll meet you at your terminal, right? Whose terminal was it? That's the whistle room. That's the wrong way. Judith. No, to Callie. This is Callie's terminal. So Judith and Callie were talking. They were talking shit. And they got hit. And then we have that. That gives us a way to open the doors. We have... I know we've checked back here a few times. Nothing. How about back here? This is the server room. Which I can't help but think is like the key to all this mess. Is that I'm doing something dumb in the server room that I should have done, but I didn't. Whistle room. Anything in here? Don't see nothing. I don't see nothing. I know we checked you. That's Henry. Let's open that back up real quick. Just real quick. Okay. Let's check this. This is Sophia's. Do you see footage? Nothing. Logical, something behind us. There's something there. Ooh, there's something there. Honestly, we're just gonna grab one of these. Actually, we're not. Prong. The prong ones are just not important. Let's see here. This is the controller. Hold on. Let's check something. Let's make sure that I'm not super duper. Yeah. There is no passwords on here. Okay. That's the reboot. We can't reboot until we get the servers online, and I have a feeling that we need to get through all the passwords until that's the case. The archives, door imaging 1, door systems. Well, we don't need anything in the power right now. At least I don't think. Imaging 1 is this. But I don't think there's anything here. Unless we need to get in there? But I'm not seeing anything in there that would give me reasons to think that we need to be in there right now, right? So, what we're thinking... Systems. Honestly, we might just close the other doors. All the doors except for systems. Because we can get to everywhere else without that. I think. If we need to save power. As of right now, I don't know. Let's see. That's a door imaging 2 with the servers we definitely need open. Door systems, I think, period, need to be on. Wait. What if we turn the door systems off? And then see if the doors, like the server door opened. Because you know how it's gated? No, it didn't do anything. Damn it. I thought I was so smart for a second. Yeah, door systems need to be on. Just period. Where was it? It was over yonder. Door systems need to be on. Prong 2 off, that's fine. Lift servers need to be on because we need to turn it on. Prong 2. Let's make sure that's on. Oh, we need a mess with the magnetics of this room, I say. Brother, I'm about to Google. I guess closing off stuff isn't a good idea when you don't know where to go. You need all the options open as possible, but immediately turn it off. How is it that this doesn't work for this? You know? I'm not seeing any fingerprints whatsoever. Hey, Dragon, how you doing? I'm still stuck here. We have come across 3 restrictions, and we're missing something. Oh, good job! Congratulations! I theorized you would. First issue. We have a server room unlocked, but no way to turn it on. We have 2 different codes that we need to learn to put it in. and we can't seem to find the answer to those codes. And 3, we need to increase our server, like, security level. And I think they're all linked, but we're missing something. Chokes you in game. Oh yeah, in game. Yeah, the one I have in my room doesn't count. Where is it? Where are you? It. I'm just gonna open all the doors. Oh, I did not know. Was this a science class or was this butchering class? What class was this? Oh, I wonder if this is the password. Let's take a closer look at this. Because they talked about puzzles, right? I was counting the leaves of the flowers. So it's like, okay, 5, 6, 4. Yeah, I don't think it is. unless it's all like 5, 6, and 4. I think this is just petals. Small farm neighborhood. Harvesting an old pig. Well, listen, like, it's good to know. It's good to know these things. It's good to know how to properly get meat from an animal that you've hunted or killed, right? Because if you're gonna kill it, you need to use it. How? Where are you? Where? Because, like, especially with the arrows, by the way, the arrow's pointing to this direction, right? Which means you're assuming you're coming from this direction, which is right where this code is. So I can't help but feel that this code is linked to that code. You need like 4 people to decide. Yeah, pigs are heavy. Oh, yes. All right, let's do this one more time. Can I, like, undo it? There we go. Yeah, 300 pounds each. Not surprising. Pigs are big, dude. Pigs are big. Commons 1. You know, let's just grab this. We're down to 1. Commons 1, lift entrance. Here's the thing. I wonder, should we have, because we have servers, lift servers, and servers entrance. I'm pretty sure the server's entrance just opens up the door in the security. I'm like 90% sure. Goes to 400. Then I can go into long detail on the cutting process, but this seems very gory. It is very gory. Boom, 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 boom. Alright. Let's see if that did it. I doubt it did, but you know what? At this point, I'm willing to try anything. There's elevator entrance, which requires security level 2, which we don't have. I think. Yeah. Hopefully. One can hope. That's imaging systems. Alright, now, with that being the case, need to reset you. There's some binaural beats, some weird wave effect in the background. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that did nothing. Still not open. Damn it, man. Damn it. What is your answers? Show me your secret server. What if there's just a code written on the server and it's just like, hey, forehead. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's honestly crazy. Like this. Oh, yeah, I will tell you what. When we get into ad break, I'm just gonna look it up. I'm just gonna look it up. I don't want y'all to be here for the next like 3 hours. Oh, I'm sure Queen appreciates the feed regardless. Regardless. Okay, so can confirm the servers did absolutely F all to our progress. So we need to go back. Let's go in here. Because there's also this room, right? But that requires level 3, so we can't do anything about it at all. Then we have this area over here that unlocks... What did it unlock again? Yeah, that's the echography, the one that I said we didn't need, but the door imaging 1 and 2. Right. Like this guy. Come on. So let's go ahead and turn off... Oh, we're back at the server. We're back at the thing again! Is this anything? No, I mean it is, but it's not. It is, but it isn't. Haha. You. And boop. Okay. We're in chapter 4, so I just need to read up to like what is it that we need. Because that's the elevator entrance that I did turn on, which the door, so that door is for the elevator specifically, which requires server level 2 access. In order for us to get server level 2 access, we need to figure out the code. In order for you to figure out the code, I don't know. There's also the pass here, which gives me pause that it might be in here. You know? Because I forgot that there was this whole area, right? This whole beginning area, like, exists. And we have, like, petals and stuff on the ground. Hopefully, it's not one of those things where it's just like, oh, you count all the petals in each little area, and then that's the code. I hope that's not the case. Because if it is, I'm going to, and say it with me, cry. Where's the thing that I just saw? Oh, there it is. This is definitely like where we will end up going. You can like hear yourself breathing in here. Hey, Ratty, how you doing? We are lost. Well, not lost, but fairly stuck. Your boy is about to cheat on the next commercial break. By that I mean look up what our next step should be. Because between the last time I was playing this and are currently playing this, I want to say we've been stuck on this for about an hour. Probably more than that. Where we just haven't been able to make any progress. Oh, this is just nothing. This is just a whole lot of nothing. Decided popped in my knee so hard that I felt like I was going to pass out. No! Well, I'm glad you're okay. But, what kind of exercise did you do? Were you doing squats? I'm assuming squats. Why am I going this way? Son of a... My guy, I'm gonna need you to exercise a little more. Walking on the treadmill. So you popped your knee out while walking? Listen, I'm not judging. That'd be rude. That would be mean of me to judge. There it is. Haven't done it in a while because my last treadmill broke, so I'm just a bit out of shape. Got you. Gotcha. That will go. Reboot is required to maintain general function in the ward. Yeah, I understand that. And I see the servers need to be reactivated. How? Can I just go like beepity boop boop? I'm just gonna hit this thing that's right here and that will just magically turn it on. Yeah, see, nothing. Which involved a lot of bending down. Okay. That's commons too. And this is where we're in the commons 2 area where there's a lot of food and a lot of, I don't know, stuff. This is the whistling room. You can tell from the whistling. Okay. Whistling room. Maybe there's something about the whistling room. The game is just like, hey, this is it. Look where the whistling is. If popping my knee in my 20s, it's training in my 20s. Maybe. Because there's also this. I don't know what this is, to be 100% honest. We also have names of people who are just like, hey, the code to this is actually like, I don't know. Get a shower and then chill. Have a good night, y'all. Yeah, have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. I hope your knee feels better. I'm glad you're okay. Good on you for exercising. Yeah. There's really one place we haven't gone. And that's in here. We've been in here before. Okay, we can't squeeze through anything. Let's see. We went left last time. What happens if we go straight? Nothing. Nothing. I do not like this. Very claustrophobic. There should be a claustrophobia warning up. I should have known better. Every horror game needs a has a, well, this crawling through the vent scene. Yeah. We're gonna be looking. We're gonna be a little bit of a cheater. A cheater McPumpkin eater. Hey, at least we explored. Oh my gosh. I have to go back out because I turned the power off to this. Bruh. Oh my gosh. Alright. Guess what? We're gonna crawl back through this. We're gonna do ad break. We're gonna crawl back through this. I'm gonna look up the answer, and we're gonna then make some progress. Watch me be the only one, like, of all the streamers, of all the YouTubers and such, I'm the only one who had such difficulty with this. Alright, let's see here. Routine chapter 4 puzzle? Let's see here. To the vent. Level 1 security cat. You'll spot a door leading to the left. Enter the door. Out to the ground, crouch one more, blah blah blah. Tape recorder. Scan it. Interface module. Restore the server operations. Here we go. To the breaker in the reception area. Passway tree. For power to both commons 1s and commons 2. When you enter the door, you spot a terminal up ahead. You'll find some additional emails and diary entries here. There's a small room to your left, but it doesn't lead anywhere. You can use it to hide later. Hide later on! Oh. When you're ready, continue to passage through the terminal. To the door leading to the left, another right, head first. You'll spot a keypad on the second right. This is important, and we'll turn it later. Other than that, there's a closed shutter that you can faintly make out the dark spots in the room. This leads to the vestibule to enter your correct code on the keypad. This is another important location for later. Note the keypad in Kelly's locker. Check the terminal for additional entries. Okay, cool. This is essentially where we are. Now what? On the opposite side, you'll find a breaker. Lets you open common 1 and common 2, another important location. Continue exploring the zone. You'll find a breaker terminal. Blah, blah, blah. Door imaging. Blah, blah, blah. There are a few doors in the zone too. Before doing anything, make sure you get a general sense of your location. The door to the servers is located in the center right. Once you have identified the key locations, head to the second break-it terminal room. Divert power to the lift servers. Make sure the door system node is powered. Go through, open it using your cat module. Head into the lift. Press down the button to reach the servers. Forward through the dark corridor until you spot a terminal on your right. What? Once you have identified the key locations, head to the second breaker terminal to divert power to the lift servers. Also make sure the door system is powered. Then go to the server door and open it with the cat interface. Head into the lift and press the down button to reach the servers? What? Head into the lift. Go to the server door, open it with your cat, head into the lift, and press the down button to reach the servers. What? Hold up. Hold up. What down button? What server? I'm gonna have to watch a damn video. Me just running in circles. Server. What down button? Oh my god. This is an elevator. I need it. I need to walk away. I'll be right back. I'm going to use the restroom. Oh my god. You gotta be Oh my gosh. Alright, we're back. Thank you for your patience. Alright. I didn't think this was an elevator. People are like, look for the button! To be fair, sorry I didn't look for the slightly different shade of gray on the wall. Getting some light down here. Oh. That works. Alright, let's read some stuff. Server. Oh. Boot failed. Drive check interrupted. Run diagnosis to resolve problem. Application will close in a moment. Okay, diagnosis. Oh. Or diagnostics. Please connect your cat device to continue. Running diagnostic. This may take a while. It's complete with errors. Damage to G2, I2, B4, I4. Please restart the application when any fixes have been applied. Why do I ever get the sneaking suspicion we're going to have to dodge invisible entity while we're restarting stuff? Just a guess. Okay. G2, I2, B4, I4. Oh. Oh. G2, I2? I4, G4? Right? Oh, again? Alright. What do you got for me? Ah, B4. Before what? I hate that that got me a little bit. Oh, right. Me looking down that hallway to make sure nothing, like, pops up. The thing behind us and the fact that I can't get through it is also concerning me. No issues found. Oh, whoops. Boot successful. Drive check completed. Please wait. Boot sequence is success. Please continue to the next step. Oh. Hi. We're moving. We're going. We're going. We're going. Where is he? We have no battery. Creepy music. Oh, do I have to go? Oh, F you. I don't have battery. Oh, no. Alright, here I go. Here we go. Do we have to go this way? Okay, thank God. Okay. We're running. Hey, let's go. Is he in here with us? Are you in the elevator with us? I can say pretty confidently that that's scary. Elevator can be faulty. Give it a moment and try again. That wasn't there before. I am fairly confident that wasn't there before. Whew. Archive system is inactive again? Uh-oh. Elevator just came up. That's a problem. It sounds so goopy. Oh, hi. Okay, so hiding behind that didn't work. Got it. But hey. That's fine. Haha. Cries. Okay, so here's the problem, right? The problem is as soon as I try to go that way, the game's just going to shut the door on me. Which is a problem, to say the least. Door imaging. Door systems. Okay. Oh. This is effective. How do we get out of here? Part of me makes me wonder if I should run. Good to know. Come on. There we go. Imaging 1. How are we here? We still have 2. I'm taking it anyway. I'm so unnerved. Imaging 1. Let's see. Don't you dare come in here. Go on your predetermined path. Okay, we're fine. And boop! First things first. Let's have a cheeky save, yeah? Can't believe the solution was like, that room isn't a room, it's an elevator. And it's like, what? It's like, what the hell do you mean that was an elevator? Excuse me? And boop! Alright. Begin reboot. Oh, I can just click it. That works. Connect to the server. Connect to the server established. All system. Oh, okay. Hey, Pink! Because I'm studying, but I'll be lurking around, so feel free to feel my intentional support through this scary-looking playthrough. Welcome, Pink. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I literally had to just look up how to continue online because I was stuck in one part for an hour only to realize the room that I thought a room was actually an elevator. So, we finally got to the point where we can make some progress. Listen, the buttons were dark gray in a gray room, alright? It's kind of, in my defense, they didn't look like buttons. They looked like background stuff. What does your room look like IRL? It's nice and cozy. It's a cozy room. Bed, nightstand, computer desk that I'm talking in right now. A TV. What about you? Emergency ecography of the canal must be performed. It requires level 3 security access. If you lack clearance, report to the founder in the annex station. Very non-elevatory. True. Oh, yeah. I look over, there's just a button. Like, by my door. It's like, wait a minute. Hold a second. My room was an elevator the whole time. My God. Ooh. This is Cowie. I'm leaving this message for any remaining members of the Prism still inside the station. We are trapped in the ward. The surface airlock requires security level 2 to open, but Mason is the only one with access, and he's locked himself inside the vestibule in fear of contamination and exposure to Entity A. You can't imagine who Entity A is. Thinking about the weird zombie thing that's the feet slippy slapping not 5 minutes ago. He's encrypted the restroom side of the entrance with a strange keypad system. Yeah, I know that one. Protected by a hidden code. I managed to confiscate the code diagram supporting photos. I've secured them in my locker. The pin is 1686. Okay. We have now progressed. We saw all these walls we couldn't cross before. Now, the room was an elevator. The locker is that. And then we need to open the locker to open the bathroom. In an attempt not to get chased by the invisible zombie man. With, I think, his intestines out? I didn't look very close. Gonna be real. So 1686. Alright. If you're reading this, decipher Mason's code and retrieve his ID. It's our only chance to upgrade our security clearance and return to the annex. Cool. Neat, neat, neat. Yeah. No, that's neat. Let's look at the media. Let's watch this YouTube video, guys. I can't move that cursor out of the way. That's just there forever. Prism. Can I, like, do like this? That's better. Canal. 12th December 1977. River, blah, blah, blah. Both video and photographic documentation are taken over a 4-hour duration canal exploration mission. Good thing I'm safe in here. Sweats. Upon reviewing the footage, significant interference was detected, rendering the majority of the data unusable. Then what am I watching? This could have been an email. Of the nearly 4 hours recorded, approximately 30-40 seconds of footage was partially usable. Okay. A lot of caves. And more ground? Or is that a body? The kind of initial purpose for Prism, the resolution must be achieved. So Prism is the whole reason Prism is here is because of that. Is because of wherever this place is. Okay, cool. Neat. How's our situation? All right, we're good to go. So same situation. We're gonna save. Cheeky save. All right. So what we need is the locker to then 1686, which I believe is there, right? 1686. Yeah. Okay, we need to go 1686. You know what? Here's the thing. Right? Here's the thing. I kind of want to unlock this. I kind of want to unlock systems. However, that means the guy has access to more rooms. The more rooms I unlock, the more things he can come through. Which is a very interesting way to keep me from just opening every room. You know what I mean? Because now I'm just like, maybe not. But I'm gonna. I don't hear him. I hear him. Don't turn directly around, I beg of you. Please just go somewhere else. He became invisible. $16.86. I want to look, but I can't. He's just standing there, menacingly. Boy, I don't hear him flip-flopping anymore. Is he waiting for me? Is he gone? He's not gone. Maybe he is gone. Remember left to right? Can I keep this? Oh god. Okay. 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 So he's gone somewhere. I don't understand the code. Okay. Left to right. Huh? Oh. Okay. So if it's left to right, if it's the other way around, is it the other way around? So 7916? Maybe? 7916? 916? Okay. 6197. 6197. Okay. Here's the thing. I don't know where I'm going from. Left to right. I don't get it. Where are we seeing these symbols? Can you give me that answer? Yeah, I didn't think so. Dang it. Give me this. See, I see this X. I see these numbers, or these kind of things. Oh, no, I get it. I get it. I get it. Left to right. It's There's one. There's one at the tree. So this one's X. That X is 5. Got you. There are symbols in these locations. Oh no. And we have to find it. It's 5. Oh boy. Why didn't I find the symbols beforehand, man? Why didn't I find the symbols beforehand? Hey, Foxy. Next to the server room? Okay. So we have server room, one of the beginning locations, and then the trees. Not that one. Wait, what? Did I tell you about your first game? What do you mean your first game? Is it this one? No, it's not this one. Oh, here it is. Up arrow. Server is up arrow. No, you didn't. Tell me about it. Well, I poop myself. Y. The tree is a Y. And now we need, like, one of the beginning ones over here. Actually, maybe this is too close. Anything over here? We've already been over here. Maybe it was the other way. Tutorials. I made my first game using Python. I used a white rectangle to move around. Hell yeah. I don't think it's here. At least I know where he is. It's the other one that's like this. Uh-oh. Egg. Oh. Don't screw with egg. I did a dash or something, but I have no idea how. I believe in you. That's awesome, though. That's very cool. Egg. I'm probably gonna die here. He's about to get a flashbang as he's turn around the corner. Hey, Foxy. Oh wait, I've been talking to you. Where's this other one? I thought it was over here. But it's the other one. Where's the other one? Why can't I seem to find it? I remember these bookshelves. It's not over here. I'm gonna start losing. I mean, I guess I could brute force it. Do you mind? Okay, they're that way. So why? They're gonna come over here again. I could tell. I could feel it in my bones. Just in case. So y is 6. So 6, 5, 6, 5, 1. And I don't know where this one. I couldn't find this one again for whatever reason. 6, 5, 1 something. Six, 5, 1, 0. He's nearby. The music's weird. You shouldn't be able to see me from here. Hey, I heard that there's free cakes down at the kitchen. Yeah, cakes. Chocolate, triple chocolate. Uh-huh. Yeah. Why don't you go check that out? I know, so exciting. Okay. They're gonna be real mad when they realize there's no cakes. 6, 5, 1, 2. 6, 5, 1, 3. 6, 5, 1, 4. 6, 5, 1, 7. 6, 5, 1, 8. 6, 5, 1, 9. Left to right. Oh. Hold on. Five, 6, 1, and it's either 6, 3, 4, 9, 0. Yeah, it's 5, 6, 1. What's left to right, right? So it's the other way around. So it's 1, 6, 5. It's something 1, 6, 5. It's left to right. You and your damn slippy, slappy feet. Sounds like me trying to get into the kitchen at 3 a.m. Something 1, 6, 5. We're brute forcing it. Hey. I'm hitting it! Hey Ludo, how you doing? I'm hiding from a weird zombie guy. If you could just go away, that'd be great. Ooh, what are you gonna add to the dino blanket? What's your favorite paleo, well, obviously Spinosaurus. Do exclamation mark blanket for me? See if Spinosaurus is already on there. He's camping now. Oh wait, does that work? Hey, I need to go over there. The blanket should have worked. I'm gonna yeah, this doesn't pause. No, it should have worked. We're just waiting. We're waiting this guy to be like, oh, he's not here, and then he'll just like go away. Except for that one time when he like straight up disappeared. Hey, yeah, I know, I'm sorry. There was no cake in the kitchen. I was wrong. It was over in the loft. Yeah, they moved it to a bigger area because so many people wanted the cake. You better hurry. Wait, why am I afraid of this guy? I just flash him in the face and then he goes and then he forgets about me. Alright. Making my way. Making my way. Making my way. Making my way. I still hear his music, so he's right next to me. I said it was by the loft. The loft. Do you know where that is? It's like the opposite side of the whole area than me. Where we are right now, go to the other side. And just, if you don't see it, it's like a treasure. Ew. Did he throw up? I don't know what that was. Oh, hi. So he checks behind there. Good to know. Alright, let me see what's going on with the whole blanket thing. 1 second. What is wrong with this thing? Did I turn it off? No. Blanket. Wee? Command O. Did I? Interesting. But if I go to my blanket command here, it's enabled. Exclamation mark blanket. Does it need to be? Don't tell me it needs to be capital B. No. Why isn't this working? We're connected to OBS. We're connected to Twitch. It should work. Everything shows that it should be working. So what we're going to do instead, I guess, is just... Oh, it's straight up not. It's like, even when I test it. That's crazy. Alright, well... Oh... I get it. Alright, I see what the problem is. Apparently the message is too long. Yeah, there's... Is this new? I think this is new. There's now a message cap. There's like a cap to how long a message can be. That was not here. This was not it. So this is what I'm gonna do. Let me split this up into duplicate. We'll do it. We'll split it like here. Longest squama. We stopped at longest squama. Okay. All right. Now we're going to save it. Now we're going to do it. Boop. There we are. It works now. Or it should work now. Yeah, it was essentially beyond the thing. Let's see here. Yeah, Spinosaurus is already on there. And in case you haven't seen it yet, let me show you. Let me show you what it is that you're even redeeming in the first place. Oh, we took it off. Let me quickly make it real quick. Just so I could show you what the heck you're doing. You're just like, wait a minute. I mean, this is cool and all, but what does it mean? What could it possibly mean, Mr. Dodo? And I'm like, well, please, Mr. Dodo was my father. Yes, you can choose another. Of course you can. I'm not gonna make you use it and then be like, oh, that sucks to be you. This. Well, I'll switch to the open mouth as well. And boop. This one. This Dodo blanket. Yeah. My goal is to have this reset every year. Granted, that didn't happen this last year, but to have like an annual dino blanket where people can request different dinosaurs for different years, and then you can get the blanket for certain years. And you're like, oh, that's me, that's the one. So yeah, Spinosaurus is, let's see if we can find Spinosaurus. Spinosaurus, I think, is the one on the very bottom middle, I believe. I could be wrong. Carnotaurus then? Carno. Was there a Carno? I guess I'm not seeing Carno. Yeah. No, totally. We could totally do that. Let us open stream notes. Carno. Oh wow, we have a couple that I still need to do. I still need to do horseshoe crab, Deinosuchus, Micropachycephalosaurus, Deinosuchus, and now a Carno. So I need to, honestly, I might refresh this. And have those 5 be the new. Yeah, horseshoe crabs are great. And by the way, it doesn't have to be a dinosaur. Anything prehistoric counts. So even Ice Age. Like even like woolly mammoths, saber-toothed tigers, those are counted. I'm already up, but iPad's dead. No! Charge it! Hurry! Alright, I'm gonna switch back now. But I wanted you to at least know, like, what the heck that is. Yeah, I was gonna say. Alright. Okay, so something 165. Or we could find it and then not guess. I could do that. Because I remember it was by... It's one of the lore ones. I thought it was this one. Because I remember there being boxes, and then we saw these, but these were only showed up in like 2 locations. Orchid mantis! They're so cute! And boop, boop. I'm not opening this door yet. White plumemouth. Insects are so beautiful, dude. Arthropods too. Okay, 0, 1, 5, 6, 1, no, 2, 1, 5, 6, 3, 1, 5, 6, 4, 1, 5, 6, 7, 1, 5, 6, 8, 1, 5, 6, 9, 1, 5, 6. What? 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 1, 6, 8, 6. Oh. 1, 6, 8, 6. It was like something 1, 6, 5. Two, 1, 6, 5. 3, 1, 6, 5. 4, 1, 6, 5. 7, 1, 6, 5. 8, 1, 6, 5. 9, 1, 6, 5. 9, 1, 6, 5. Or is it the other way around? But that's what it would be, left to right. It was something 1, 6, 5. Because this one this one was X. X is on the far right. And that's 5. Unless it means the other way around. In which case, F that. If that was that way, if it's the other way around, F. Oh. In that case, it's, I don't know the last one. It's 4, 5, 4, 5, 9 something. Four, 5, 9, 0. 4, 5, 9, 1. 4, 5, 9, 2. 4, 5, 3. 4, 5, 9, 6. 4, 9, 7. 4, 5, 9, 8. I feel so dumb. Why can't I get this? The numbers do double up. So let's do what we were doing before, except let's do 6, 1, 6, 5. 6, 1, 6, 5. Six, 1, 6, 5. Six, 1, 6, 5. I'm so... I've gone through the whole thing. I've gone through this. The only one I don't know is on the left. The far left one. Ugh. Okay. It's the only other thing. It's like, okay, remember left to right. Right? And I don't know if this is also left to right or not. I'm gonna say yes. Let's do this. It's 5, 6, 1 something. 5, 6, 1, 0. I feel like I've done this before. 1, 5, 6, 1, 2, 5, 6, 1, 3, 5, 6, 1, 4, 5, 6, 1, 5, 5, 6, 1, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 1, 7, 5, 6, 1, 8, 5, 6, 1, 9. Ugh. I like to draw a Chinese moon moth. Hell yeah. Because the Y was 6, right? Yeah, I am right on those 3 symbols. It's just the order I am confused with. It's something 1, 6, 5. Will it not give it to me unless I find it? Zero. Oh, 6, 5. So there we go. 1, 1, 6, 5. 2, 1, 6, 5. 3, 1, 6, 5. 4, 1, 6, 5. 5, 1, 6, 5. 5. 6, 1, 6, 5. 7, 1, 6, 5. 8, 1, 6, 5. 9, 1, 6, 5. 9, 1, 6, 5. Am I dumb? Am I super dumb? Because we don't know the first one. Because we haven't seen any of those symbols. It's left to right. So it's 1, 6, 5. Because Y is 6, X is 5. 1 something 6, 5. So let's do this. Let's do 616. We did 6165. We did all these. I wonder if the game is preventing me from moving forward until like a preventable like brute forcing. All right, let's look. It has to be. It's around the bookshelves. We need to look for bars and a bookshelf. Bars and a bookshelf like that. I only remember seeing that once. Bars and a bookshelf. Bars and a bookshelf. That's lift and prong. That's prong. Are we on... Okay, good. Just making sure. Can't open that one. At least not yet. This one is reddish, but I'm not seeing it. The only spot that I think would be it would be in here. Nothing in there. Are these the bars? I mean, I see these bars, so I see this, right? I don't remember where that other stuff is. It makes me wonder if it's in there. Let's turn it on and see. Door reception. Ah, it was in here. Circle. It was circle with a dot. Circle with a dot on it. All right, let's have a cheeky save in here. Cheeky save, database. Bruh. Of course he's over there. With these slippy slappy. Why can't I run? Um, 9165. Which we tried before. Oh god. Hey man, how you doing? We have the code. It's just it's not doing. We're here. Okay. So 9165. No. That means 5, 6, 1, 9. What the frick are we supposed to do? Like, what? Left to right. Yeah. 9. Unless it's 1, 9, 5, 4. Maybe? Hey, how are you doing? Cheese. Hey, Shadow. I'm trying now. But now my head is full of different codes that I don't remember which one worked and which one didn't. Currently conflicted about a cipher that could be reversed and or upside down and or both, while an invisible zombie man who's like what 6 feet looks like to a 5'11" person would be. So pretty good, actually. Okay. Alright, if it was the opposite, it would be 5, 6, 1, 4, 9. 5, 6, 1, 9? No. The other way around. It would be 1, 9, 5, 1, 9, 5, 4. 1, 9, 5, 4. I want to get over there, but he's over there. 1, 9, 5, 4. 1, 9, 5, 4. Oh, thank you for the revive. I'm sure Mama Dodo, Zombie Mama Dodo, returns again. 1954. Oh my gosh. I want to try this. Okay. 1, 9, 5, 4. I'm sure he hears that. Align. Begin optical test in room 01. What does that mean? Enter user ID. Let's listen to this. Whew. Yeah, I will resurrect Zombie Mama Dodo.
This is Dr. Weber, clinical psychologist. Today is the 19th of February, 1979. 1846 LTC. I've been compelled to implement a 3-stage process to help mitigate this delirium.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
The first stage is the re-entry chamber, a mandatory step for any personnel returning directly from the canal. Though, regrettably, not all exhibit the requisite discipline. The second stage, which I regard as the most critical,
Don't you dare
is
cut
the
off.
anchor. I've repurposed a hall within the Commons to repeatedly present footage of a hollyhock in bloom.
Right.
Repeatedly watching it grow seems to have a noticeable calming effect.
To whom? Not the
Basic,
zombie.
yet apparently necessary comfort.
Because I've still been playing, hasn't watched the screen at all.
The final step, designated the alignment
Let's go,
procedure,
Shadow.
is situated within the vestibule. This procedure is reserved for those in advanced states of psychological decline.
The place I'm going to and the guy who's already in there?
producing a perceived mental and somatic reset. I shall continue to monitor the effectiveness of each stage. At present, however, these steps seem to be helping to a degree.
And what degree is that? At what point does the extra long boy come into effect here? Hello. Can I pull the damn fire alarm? Maybe he'll evacuate as per protocol. Seems like a guy who follows protocol. Oh, do you want me to go in there? I'm doing pretty good. How have you been, Alice? It's been a hot minute. Optical room. Oh. Well, that works. Hello. Are you being an optical test? Okay. Well, this might be where the flashing warning comes in, so just a heads up. Try to move the cursor down a little bit. Motion detection array. Okay. Well, sorry to hear that, Alice. Hopefully it gets better for you. How many shapes exhibited counterclockwise rotation? 5! I wasn't paying attention to that! 5? Did it reset because I got it wrong? Oh, okay, we'll see. We'll see if I pass this. Bedded from recognition. We've had snow a few times, actually. What item did you see? None? You are now ready for auditory test. Proceed to room 2. Yeah, for real, for real. Auditory room! Yay! Stand on the thing. Spatial discrimination. Sorry, I don't discriminate. Okay. Okay, this to the left. Why are these the sounds, by the way? That's weird. These are the sounds that you decided. Hey, why is that part of the test? Hey, what sound resonated me the most? Gonna be straight up with you, fam. That was behind me. Why was the zombie voice part of the test? Excuse me? Well, the back. Unfortunately. Emotive response. We're gonna try to rage bait you. Circle. Small circle. but it's wobbly. Medium circle. Big circle. Medium. Big. Bigger. Smallest. Small. There's a lot of stuff vibrating here. Solid circle. How did this sound make you feel? Unsettled, I guess. Alignment process to the main terminal. I turn around and I'm like, bah! He's like there. Drain the basin. Drain the basin. I have a feeling we get that code later. Hopefully. We drained the basin. We got an achievement. Well, we know he can't get under here. He's too tall. So we can let our guard down comfortably. Oh, here it is. 1193. Is that it? I'm gonna take a picture of it for my phone. I shouldn't be doing that. That uses co charge. Alright. So he wasn't in there. Hold on, let me look one more time. Yeah, where is our boy? The guy was supposed to be in here. He locked himself in here. Where did he go? Did he become water? Is he the ultimate waterbender? Did he become... What was that one movie where the guy, like, melts into water and it scarred me for a long time? I don't remember what it was. Alright, see ya, Alice. Thanks for stopping by. 1193. All right. First, before the security, let's read the diary and email, because we are snoopy like that. The tapes, the others can't see or hear it, but I can feel it in my bones, which I have many. The message is clear. We must be cleansed before we enter the canal. There is time, but we must start the cleansing process now. You can only cleanse it through fire. There's too many contaminants to keep track of. This area must remain isolated and clean. It must. I can't keep restarting the process. I won't be fully cleansed in time. I think someone else is in here. Maybe while I was sleeping. Did I let them in? I can't remember. I need to protect this space. Some sort of failsafe code for only my waking self to understand. Oh, I know. The code on my badge that everyone can see. They're leaving. Entering the canal. How could I join them if I'm not clean? One more bath. Oh, so he did become water. James, are you okay? Judith. I'm concerned about James. Well, hold on. This is on James' terminal, right? Yeah, this is on James' terminal. Did they CC them? Why was he CC'd on an email of them talking about him? Can you imagine? Hey, we're talking about you, so we're gonna blind CC you on this email. All right, base lockdown family. For all of our safety, the base is on lockdown and travel to the moon surface is not permitted. As long as you're not exhibiting sign of illness, you are free to go anywhere within the base except for the areas designated for quarantine. Please remain distance as much as possible, and feel free to reach out to me via email. Security. All right. Oop. I turned it off. Oh. What the? Use the interface module to upgrade to security 2. You mean outside? What interface module? There was one here. It's not the optical room, is it? No. Is it the auditory room? No. What interface module? The fact that that gate is closed is also concerning. Use the interface to upgrade to... Okay, so I can't do... Oh, wait. Is there a thing? There isn't a thing. Oh. Module updated. Hell yeah. We are security level 2, baby! Hey, can I save? I don't want to have to do that again. It's a very pretty game. Okay. We have security level 2. So as long as we get to the main area and turn on the elevator, we should be okay. Guys, you want to see it? Do you want to see the elevator button? You see this room, right? And there's like a weird gate, and I'm like, okay, this is weird. This is odd. This is kind of like a weird little segment room. This is the button. Doesn't it just look like detail? It just looks like detailing. Oh my gosh. I know we're gonna come back because we only have security level 2 and there are plenty of security level 3 stuff down there. But I think we can breathe a bit of fresh air up here. I don't think he's up here. How are we doing as far as charge? We actually will take that. What do you got for me, tape?
This is William Davis, founder of Prism Institute.
Deep voice.
I'd like to take a moment to express my gratitude to each and every member of Prism. For your tireless work, your dedication, and your
blood.
Remarkable foresight.
That too.
I suspect those back home are utterly unprepared for what we shall find. Once the ward is operational, our real work begins, and I look forward to it with great anticipation.
Hey, wait a minute. Did we straight up skip our last ad break? Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait. This is one of the problems of doing manual ad breaks. Yeah, no, pre-rolls are on. All right. Before we continue, let's do that real quick. Yeah, this is one of the issues with doing it manually to make it more organic. It's like you skip it. Shall we do a little bit of exercise in the meantime? All right. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Woo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 25. Woo. Okay, 20 push-ups, 25 crunches. Now let's do some squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 20. Woo, boy. Whew. And then a minute to catch my breath. Let's switch to... Let's write down our progress for working out. 55, 40, 41. We need to catch up on crunches. Tell you what. Ooh. I wish I could catch my breath faster. I think that's just getting into shape. Welcome back. Just did some exercises. All right. What do we got? We're full up. Airlock sequence. Oh yeah, that's gonna be fine. This is gonna be great. Oh, there we go. And boop. Oh. Maybe we should have stayed down there and gone to security level 3 or something. No, I think this was the only security level 2 thing that we needed. Oh, I love the effects of the sound. The breathing sounds is me right now. He's not behind me, is he? Oh, the lens flare on the sun. There's Earth. Chapter 5. Endure. What happens when I jump? I can't jump on the moon? 0 out of 10 game. I wonder if we just go off in the distance, we would, like, die. Tempting. But we are on chapter 5. All we need to know were that rooms can be elevators. I'm a fool. What's that up there? Why is this over here? Oh, they're both. It might be like a road. Versus like following the markers, is stay between the markers. Hey, y'all, question. Way over there to over here, right? Why didn't they just dig? Why did we need to come out here for this? Just finished it. You already dug underneath the crust. You might as well just dig this and just keep it a hallway. Then you wouldn't have to worry about airlocks and all that other nonsense. Like what? Or maybe the thing that they want is really important. That's like right here. Maybe. And you never got back and let just float away. That's why, honestly, that is one of the reasons why I jumped. Okay, so I'm predicting that this is going to be a problem. Because here's the thing. We're in a whole new area. I like that we need a security thing to get the air back on. It's like, I left it outside! No! Unless you're a level 2 security person, you can't have air. Air is a level 2 security privilege. It's like, what? But yeah, we might be in trouble here. I don't know how many zombie men are walking around this area, because this is a whole new building. We might be really happy there's only one back there. Unless they, like, bud. I can't believe this room was an elevator room. I was so upset. Hello! I'm here to fix your pipes. Hello there. Well, I'm gonna here for a cheeky save. Yep. What about database? So we have our IDs here. Also, that opening. Yeah, there wasn't anything else besides level 3, I believe. This showers. Showers are important. Hey, I'm not. Uh-oh. EL9 detected. Unable to administer disinfectant. Okay, cool. Good to know. So EL9 is the infected stuff, right? I'm assuming. Yeah, surveillance level. Oh, no. That was English. Sup? Were you also detected? So, come here often? I'm just gonna... Good thing you wrote stuff down before you became, taller. Time frame, symptom. Day 1. Headaches, sinus pressure, ice pick headaches, tinnitus, fullness in ears. Eye strain, photophobia, blurry vision, floaters, some instances of subconjunctival hemorrhage. Day 5, we skipped a couple days. Insomnia. Trouble sleeping, sleep paralysis, disturbing during hypnagogic and hypnopompic states. Damn scientists and their naming convention. High cortisol levels. So just being stressed? Yeah, that would do it. Cognitive decline. Visual manifestations, visuals and auditory hallucinations, confusion, brain fog, dissociative memory loss. Day 30. They've been on the cognitive decline for like 4 months, or 4 weeks. Breathing difficulty, cough, low-grade asthma, lower blood oxygen levels. Day 45, dehydration. Gaunt appearance, unable to intake nutrients by mouth. Constricted veins, difficult to detect needle insertion. Deep amber-colored urine, which means your kidneys are shutting down. And I think amber implies... liver might also be shutting down. 60 death. What did you write that down? Cardiac arrest after succumbing to symptoms. 61 fruiting bodies. Development of fungal growth in the back of the tongue observed during algor mortis. Positive cryptococcal test. Interesting. So it is cordyceps, except instead of making you want to spread it, it just kills you slowly. Not that that's not enough. Founder's office? Well, howdy doody. Nothing. Okay. That looks... thing. Laboratory 1. Well, don't mind if I do. Ah, yes. A lab. And, yes, the laboratory tape recorder. Of course.
We came so far.
Gross.
Further than anyone would have expected.
Uh-huh.
This place is proof of our will, our perseverance,
Of whom?
our vision.
Hmm.
Soon,
Soon what?
soon the canal will speak.
Canal's not alive. It doesn't talk. Okay, so he's lost his mind. What's this? That's more... That's... Gotcha. Hi, Ken. The automated sensor in the decontamination is malfunctioning. It can identify contaminants, but it can't communicate the chemical formula necessary to sanitize. Until I can get it fixed, we can work around it by manually entering the chemical formula. I'll put up the sign to inform the rest of the crew to use the main control lab. Oh, what? Diary. I woke up in the past again, missing chunks of time, and of me. I feel like I need to be somewhere. It's like waking up from a dream I can't remember. And that voice. My voice. Together. Uh-oh. This is make us whole again, Isaac, all over again. Alright, let's check out the other room before I start crawling through vents. Okay, this is the vent I'm supposed to crawl through. That's... Hold on, let's go up to it and see if there's a jump scare. No, okay. Worth a shot. Listen, it's worth a shot. And that's the one we can't go before. Well, good thing we have our helmet on this whole time, because, my god. Good thing there's no problems in these vents, right? Right, game? Okay. Uh-huh. Alright. We're in a wet room of sort. Overflow is at 100% capacity. Cistern is at 100% capacity. Don't know what that means, but you know what? We're here for it. Tasks? We have a couple in progress. Canal, I've located the entrance of the Founder's office. However, the door terminal is damaged, so I need to find another way in. I must find another way in. Okay, no, calm down. We don't need to do anything. There seems to be an EL9 contamination. I need to find the chemical laboratory to complete. Yep, the flooding. All right, cool. So we have a handful of stuff that need to be done. Is he gonna jump scare me for something here? Oh, surprisingly, no. I thought that was gonna stay open so we see somebody like walking by and it's just like ooh, blah, 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 blah. And they would sound just like that. Hello. That's concerning. Yeah, that's a problem over there. Yep. So, fruiting body, right, does give me inclination of, all right, well, what's beyond steps day 61? It creates a fruiting body, then what? What comes from the fruiting body? Because something tells me it might be a little more than that. All right, let's see here. Just some recharging. More rechargers. Ooh. Scare the bejesus out of me. 6528. Oh, that got me pretty good. Not gonna lie. That got me. Woo. What was it? 1638? Oh, 6528. Oh. So our boy's in here. I discovered something in the arbor. It is a large animal that does not appear to be alive. I think this is what some of the others saw. You must go and see. Then we need to get to the main control lab. I went back to the arbor to save as much of the fluids from the dissection as possible, and I had to let most of it soak into the soil. I wish circumstances were more jovial, but I'm grateful to be able to share this moment with you, Maria. This is an absolute marvel, a native being of the moon. Hello, team. There's a potential illness going around. Until I know more, STIP is in effect. Report the first sign of any symptoms, isolate if feeling ill, wipe down surfaces frequently, wear provided masks. Visit the lab cultures to be taken. One of our doctors will always be at the main control lab, so stop by anytime. A sleeping area will be set up for you in the designated isolation zone, and your meals will be delivered for a length of isolation period. Kim will be conducting recurring surface swabs and used air filter testing. Bio will handle pre-incinerator wastewater analysis. Engineering will be placing all air filters with high-efficacy particulate air filters over the next 48 hours. Reach out to medical team with any questions. Thank you. Oh, that was just the... No, that was the second one. Running bat. Finding wire doors. Doors found. Opening doors. Please terminate this program. That's a problem. Probably. That looks like a problem. What was this again? 6528? Just making sure. 6528. Okay. We do not have this one yet. Which is probably why the door opened. Ha ha ha. Also, he might not have been real. The fact that we don't hear anything anymore, and after he went through the door and then window and then disappeared, he might have been just an hallucination, which, to be fair, makes sense. Or not. Just in case. Diary. Sterane biomarkers detected. More details soon. I can't wait for the radiocarbon results. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep thinking, knowing what types of ancient life could be left in those biomarker assemblies in these samples from how long ago. As excited as I am, it doesn't feel right celebrating without Edith. I'm a little worried he might. We were proven that they do not care if we're reading. Okay. Proteinogenic amino acids. After everything, it has all been worth it. This is momentous. Life right here, right now, with us on the moon. Maybe the canal have a more hospitable environment for certain organic material. After I get next experience logged and prepped tomorrow, I need to talk with Barbara. What I'm experiencing does not fill me with confidence, the loss of time, the hallucinations. Not yet. I embrace it. I embrace the process. I'm reading! I hear it now. The canal is the only way to go on. Together. Make us one, Isaac. Make us one. Oh, that's a cool effect. Anything else around here? Oh. Oh. I thought that was just something on the wall. I was very confused. Very cool. We got a cheeky save so we could die without much issues. What are they gonna do? Climb through the vents? turning around. Sweats. Well, considering I can't flash them. Oh. Well. Okay, another vent. Okay. Sweet, I think we're safe in here. Perfect. And another cheeky save. Don't mind if I do. Hidey ho. Alright, let's see. pH level, chemical pH levels ordered list. Citric acid, prussic acid. Okay, so it's just acid to base, pH level, blah, blah, blah. If you ever need to pH correct a pool, you know exactly what this is about. Alright. Stabilizers for solution EL9. Citric acid can boost chlorhexadine's strength. Could destroy our solution. Too acidic. Base plus active 1 plus active 2 plus stabilizer. So active 1 may be copper. Sodium bicarbonate could disrupt peroxide. Peroxide. pH levels help copper stay active. Good at cleaning up strained metals that would weaken phenol. Can weaken when a lot of alcohol such as ethanol stabilizes metals and protects H2O. So EDTA is very good at... EDTA might be our stabilizer. Polyvinyl pyrrolidine, or PvP. Oh. Is it match? Is it skill-based PvP? Or a good stabilizer but could make the solution more viscous than we want. PvP can retain and slow down the release of silver ions. Sodium chloride can balance chlorhexidine or lose strength fast. Breaks down hydroxide, and copper can accelerate decomposition too much. So we have a lot of potentials. Sup, how you doing? Oh. Okay. So we might have a couple of options here. Potential actives for EL9. Active components for EL9. Copper ions, unstable if exposed to strong acids or too much chloride. Best in mildly acidic environments. Silver ions, highly compatible. EDTA can bind silver ions too tightly. Peracetic acid would destroy copper ions too quickly. A potent oxidizer, even stronger than peroxide. Phenol can reduce the copper's strength. Hydrogen peroxide works well with copper and EDTA, and chlorhexidine provides a long-lasting solution. Does not synergize well with hydroxide. So copper, EDTA, and hydrogen. Hydrogen peroxide, copper, and EDTA. Am I understanding this correctly? Let's finish reading our stuff first before we start immediately jumping into this. Yeah, it says that the active one is copper. And it seems to me that hydrogen Hey, get out of here. Ah, so the jump scare was on the other side of the door. Ah, yes, yes. Lovely. There's that. Choosing a base for EL9. Water content improves penetration into pores surface. Water above doesn't work for copper or hydrogen peroxide, so we don't want water. Isopropyl alcohol is a very effective base, helps dissolve membranes, making finishes more vulnerable to copper and peroxide. Okay, cool. So IPA. IPA, copper, peroxide, from the sounds of it. Propylene glycol, risk of residue, keeps citric acid from clumping or separating, keeps the copper ions suspended and spread out evening, can degrade hydrogen peroxide. Ethanol, compatible with EDTA, doesn't interact with copper. No big advantage over EPA. Well, I mean, it seems pretty obvious to me. So, let's go ahead and do isopropyl alcohol. Let's see here. Copper and peroxide. Hold on. Silver is copper. Base is IPA. Isopropyl. Active 2 is hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide. And then stabilizer was EDTA. I think it was EDTA is what we said, right? Good at cleaning up stray metals. Disrupts peroxide. No. We don't want PVP because it makes it more viscous. So I think it was EDTA, if I remember correctly. EDTA. All right. Let's test it. 100% effective. Formula assigned to decontamination chamber. Main control laboratory is successful. Let's go! Let's go! We completed the EL9 solution. Let's do a quick save before the guy outside breaks our neck in half. So now we just need to leave. I like how there was all this stuff laying around being like, what could it be? I mean, it's like, listen, if it is giving you results that you don't want. Sorry, I'm so paranoid they're going to throw shit into this vent. And I'm going to poop my pants. But I'm fairly confident that it is way too big for these vents. Now, outside these vents, well, okay, going around that way. Just in case. Well, here's the thing. We didn't get this one. Maybe this one's later? Does mine work? 2432? It was worth a shot. It was worth a shot. Alright. Actually, let's try all the different ones, just in case. One 686 1193. 1686 something something. 1686 and 1193. Yeah, okay, cool. Just... Oh, hi. Why was he just standing in the corner like that? What's up with him? What was that about? He just stands up like a gargoyle. Maybe he was patiently waiting for me to like try the different codes and then was actually like very like understanding and patient. Maybe, you know, maybe I was a little harsh on him. I think it was over here. Yeah, I think this is it. And doop. Hello, I'm here for my decontamination. Pretty please. Thank you. What if I got this wrong? Yeah, hey, can I put this in a spray bottle and spray the dude outside? Uh-oh. Was that robot noises I heard? Hi. Even though it's like ripped over there. Like, I don't know why I need... Couldn't I just, like, gone through that hole?
Such sorrow in her eyes.
What is this?
Or is it?
Is that a face?
How lonely she must have been. I'm here now.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. What the... Okay. You know what? I don't want to know. What is this? Medical evaluation. Patient blank. Tether partner blank. That's a good sign. Identified remains of the unknown animal. Large animal, deceased, pale flesh, hairless. I don't know how big 2.1 meters is, but it seems like a lot. The vertebrate animal looks like to be one of the Mammalia class with 10 limbs. The neck measures 120 centimeters. Examination shows an apple lodged in the long throat, which was probably the cause of death. The digestive system consists of one stomach with 4 compartments. No apple was found in any of the compartments. Ovaries are present, but no evidence of a uterus or cervix. That explains why that man's so tall. The mammary glands and external sex organs suggest the animal is female, which also suggests the potential existence of a male mate. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. When a game tells you that, it's a bad sign. Due to the size of the subject, a partial autopsy had to occur at the site of discovery of the arbor, and much of the subject remains there. Transport to the rest of the subject to the lab has been scheduled for tomorrow. The arbor has been closed off for the time being. So, do I just need to feed them apples? Because from the sounds of it, they can't eat apples. So what if we just gave them apples? Hey, why am I here? Alright. Secrets mode activate. Surely they wouldn't write it in blood. That'd be cringe. I need to come up with like new jokes. Hello? I'm poking my hand out. You can't get it. Woo! Woo! Seriously though, why am I here? Oh, there it is. 6192. Were you breathing? Say cheese? Say cheese? Something breathed. Something besides me. None of my summons breathe. Last time I checked. Alright. Me checking every one of my summons to see if they breathe. Okay, so where are we going? What's the task that we need to do? We need to go to the canal. We have located the entrance of Fountain's office. However, the door terminal is damaged. I need to find another way in. I must find another way in. The cistern is accessible. However, I need someone's ID to open the gate. Okay. Oh yeah, what was the... Hold on. What was his ID? It was 6192. Oh, so that was William. Good to know. 6192, 6192, 666666192. So we have to go all the way back over there. Surely you wouldn't be in here. Six 192 6192. When I say 6, you say 1926. 6. Maybe not as effective via stream. You don't see me. I am a rat in your walls. I'm in your walls, I'm in your walls. Okay. Oh, what? Why did he cut off? Did he despawn? What was that? Okay. Now, cheeky save, cheeky save. 6192, 6192. Six 192. Me looking at 3 directions. Yeah, that's comforting. Listen, the little helper bots were afraid of ladders, and you know what? I see it. Oh, crap. This whole place is full of poop. They've been using this as a poop hole. Okay, so I thought 1 was a problem. With the amount of matter that I'm seeing here, they've either been here for a long time or there are a lot of them down here. There's a lot of poop. Even the music is like, ooh, creepy poop. You know what that means. Please tell me no more. Going back to Larkin, I'm detangling your hair, fighting for your life. Good luck. I just got a haircut. Literally this weekend. Enjoy cuddling with Mama Dodo. Oh my gosh. Okay. Nothing on the walls that I could tell, at least. I'm liking all of... Whoa, wait a minute. No, that's just it kind of glitching around. Man, that's a lot of poop. The fact that this is a maze is concerning me greatly. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Alright. Oh, this is gonna spawn the baddies. Why am I here? Oh, it's to deflood. Okay. Good news, bad news. Good news, there are no enemies yet. Bad news, touching that will spawn enemies. Which means if I want to look around, I look around now. Because I don't have nothing to worry about right now. Okay, so there's nothing over there. Okay, I remember this place. Where PPE? How about you tell me where to go? Overflow area. You don't say. Is there a... No, there's a lot of little feelers in that drainage. Okay. So what we want... Let's have a little bit of like a practice drill, yeah? That's our way out. So we are gonna go right. And we're gonna keep on... Nope. We aren't gonna go right. We'll go right, left, right, left, no, straight, right. Okay. I got the general vicinity of what we're doing. And then this is just closed off. Okay. It's gonna get bad. Just FYI. Just letting you know. As soon as I hit this, I know exactly what's gonna happen. I wonder if the game is going... Oh, can I just follow the pipe? No. Immediately goes into a wall. No. Anything else around here? I'm waiting. I'm sorry. I'm being quiet here. Oh, they did not like me doing that. Oh, was I not grabbed down, or did I, like... What happened? Did I have a... Uh-oh. Oh. Okay, so the things did have very long necks. We haven't seen one of these yet. The other ones, I don't think... I don't think we've seen them yet. So we've been seeing the males, potentially. To be honest, I haven't gotten a very good look at him. Don't worry, we're just gonna walk off that concussion. We're just gonna be chill with it. Yeah, we're fine. Where is our... What's in here? Oh, no. Have we been in here? We have been here. How's our situation? Our situation's pretty good. Now, more poop. Maybe that's the sound that they've been making. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I see the Tim limbs now, by the way. Camping in front of the save spot? Not cool, by the way. Just saying. Oh, I can't see crap in here. Definitely Dead Space inspired, and I love it. Ooh. By the way, the sound design. Can I rave about the fucking sound design? The sounds these things make is so good. Not where I'm supposed to be. I do really want to emphasize just how well made this game is. And how much it takes for me to be unnerved. It's so much. I haven't gone to this room yet. That's concerning. Can't go through that room. Let's see, tasks. Let's look at our tasks. The canal. I've located the entrance founder's office. However, the door terminal is damaged. I need to find another way in. I must find another way in. Isn't it the canal? Oh, not that way. Surely they wouldn't come in here. You don't see me. You don't sound very happy about your situation. Okay, so when you grow like 15 tentacles, you go invisible. Look how big he is. Yeah, that man's definitely 6 foot. Got an ass though. Definitely does squats. How is he not hitting his head on everything? It also makes me realize that when he chases you, he's on all fours. Okay, we don't need to go that way anymore. We're back. But if I'm not, have a nice day. Thank you. I hope you do too. Bet I need to go that way. Where'd he go? Does he phase through walls? I'm trying to remember where the thing was. Was it upstairs? Am I crazy? It might have been upstairs. Let's look. And I know for a fact all it is just deloading the environment and reloading the new environment. We ain't moving. We ain't moving. Because that stuff is very difficult to code. But listen, you gotta have some movie magic when it comes to games. Is this just the way out? I don't want to leave. Yet. I thought there was another spot. I open up, they're just right there. Gives me a hug immediately. Oh, did I get a little... Yeah. Okay, so we have you unlocked. Nothing else in here. We can't get through this door. I think the only way to get through the door... Oh, there it is. Door main wing. Let's leave it on. And just hope he doesn't come through this way. If he does, we flash him. We're flashing him. Ooh, boy. Okay. Where is this other... I know this way. Here we go. Why can't I look and do this at the same time? Save. Here it is. Whee! You can't go downstairs. Hee hee hee. I'm safe down here. I'm down your poop hole. I didn't like that sentence. Don't take that out of context. Alright, well, let's switch to secrets mode just so we can see what the heck's going on here. Oh. Did we pass by We did not, but... Gotta say, it is a little unfortunate I'm not seeing more like little secrets on the walls and stuff like that. I wish I could see more. Because that stuff's really cool. But maybe there hasn't, I've just missed it. I am known to miss things, rewinding like last 3 hours. Okay. Another save spot? Well, don't mind if I do. I say. Not sure how I feel about this anonymous music. Anonymous? Not. Anyway.
The canal whispers my name.
In my voice.
Urging me forward.
Uh-huh. Well, considering I found your body, something tells me, it didn't.
Okay. One final moment.
One final moment.
One last glance upon her face before I leave.
Is it the alien that he keeps looking? Or is there a person that he's in love with? Oh, Williams Terminal. Oh, if it's Williams Terminal... 6192. Here we go. Media! Let's see it! Let's see your face one more time! One more time! Uh-huh. Entity B. Archive. Into recovery. What the hell? Is that a mother tick? What am I looking at? Is that a potato? It kind of looks like a larva with a lot of hands. Yeah, that's the female, I think. Right? Yeah, the one that choked on the apple. That's a lot of fingers. Second life form was discovered anatomically distinct from Entity A. Entity B was found by Maria of Arbor and was already deceased upon discovery. Preliminary cause of death appears to be asphyxiation, likely resulting in choking on an apple, possibly due to the incompatibility with human produce. Yeah, he was definitely looking up an alien. Huh. Okay. Diary. That's a lot of diary. Let's do it. A magnificent mammalian specimen. A true being of the moon. She holds so much history in the layers of her mind. The other entity that Henry encountered is still here. I can still feel sadness that is not my own. The others think they are hallucinations. They are mistaken. They are memories. I slept in the main control lab last night, when it was just me and her, and she spoke to me. I know now. There is no place for us here, not in a conventional sense. The canal is the answer. Just a few of us left now. It won't be long until we are all together. It's time to join them. Before I go, I must look upon her one last time. Okay, before I turn that on, let's look at this. Let's look at these, and then we'll do ad break, and then we're good. The incident occurred in canal observation experiment at the canal. No, crazy. During setup, Matthew Gerard went into a trance and walked into the canal. Henry Becker, lead physicist, successfully retrieved Gerard via tether connection. Gerard was in poor condition and had a emaciated appearance. He could not speak coherently and seemed confused. Back at the base, his condition worsened. He was put into a medically induced coma and given extravenous treatment for extreme dehydration. Approximately 12 hours later, Gerard went into cardiac arrest and died 29th of August. Burial was held outside the base for Gerard. Oh, outside the base. So if we see, like, just a... we might be able to see a burial out there of these things sprouting. General appearance: Matthew Grod, Henry Becker. General appearance: barely conscious, confused, gaunt, extremely dehydrated. Patient arrived in an emergency situation in the canal location. He could not speak clearly and had issues breathing. His general appearance was alarming, almost as if he were void of moisture, veins constricted, causing difficulties for IV insertion. Vitals were erratic but stabilized after administered sedation. Patient has been put into a medically induced coma and is given fluids and medication intravenously. Judith Weber spoke to Gerard briefly before he was administered sodium thiophenol for the medical induced coma. A transcript has been requested. All right. Last ad break of the day. Let's see. Oh, there's one more. Airlock ID. Lead engineer left on his own. On-duty crew is sparse due to the loss of life and current illness. No one saw Murphy leave, and he did not inform anyone of his plans. For safety reasons, the base is now in lockdown. Comms have been left in the past in case Murphy could... Okay. On ongoing cycle of natural actions and patterns. Weird wall? Alright. Surely you joust. Sorry, that's stupid. Alright, do we want another workout? Let's just do crunches. We're not going to do anything else. But I'm behind on crunches comparatively to the others. I'm used to doing a lot more of them, but for whatever reason, they're weaker this week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, I feel like I skipped some. How did I get to 50? I guess looking back at the thing would tell me like I just skipped like a whole bunch. Okay. We're good. We're on track for this week's exercise. It's actually kind of the way I've been doing the exercise stuff is if I'm consistent with what I consider like minimum to do in a week, then I raise the bar up, right? And I have been on again, off again. If I do it twice in a row, right? I've been doing complete a week, failed a week, complete a week, failed a week. I can't seem to be consistent with it. Oh man, just how it be sometimes though. I get distracted by something, my energy goes to that, and that's the end of that. All right. We got 15 more seconds until we will probably die. We did all that. We did all that. All right, welcome back. It is time. Security level trace. We have security level trace now. So now we go back to wherest we came. And we start opening up those other doors. Oh, you know what? Let's do a cheeky save after the upgrade. Just so we don't have to do it again. Oop. I thought that was something standing there. Probably still gonna be something down there, though. I'll tell you that much. Okay. Okay. Seem to be... Again, this place is filled with... Oh, okay. Am I getting flashbacks to the... Am I William? That's the same voice. If I'm hearing hallucinations in my own voice, we heard William. Then who was the guy in the... I don't know. And we do have an obsession over... Aliens. I would say, you know, being very passionate about finding aliens is, you know, good, but at the same time, I'm like, you don't see nothing. You and your gargoyle looking in the corner. Also, I think we saw his penis. There was like a moment when we ran by him, I was just like, Then I'm like, hopefully we won't get in trouble for that. Great, we went down the one way we need to go. How are we doing? We're doing pretty okay. I think it's like every 2 flashes is a thing. Okay. I think I heard him turn around. Or not? Okay, he's over there. Uh-huh. Any more? Cheeky save. He's definitely down here. Definitely down here somewhere. Oh, we need to leave. That's over here. Bye. Have a good time. Do 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 do. Ba-dum-ba-dum. Do 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 do. Ba-dum-ba-dum. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Just checking. We're just gonna go ahead and... Yeah. I don't think there was any security 3 that I saw up around here. Definitely over there. Hello? 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 Surely there wouldn't be anything outside here. There we go. I don't see anything. Well, they had a burial thing out here. So I don't know if they are they need to breathe air. Considering the gasping they make, I think they do. I am tempted to, like, see if I could see where they buried him. Because they said they buried him outside. What if we look behind us and he's just charging at us? I'm not seeing anything. I'm just trying to look for high ground to see if we see anything interesting. I'm not seeing anything interesting. And besides the fact that we're in space and there's the Earth, like, they're obviously really cool. I like the effect. I like everything that we're seeing right now. What's that over there? Is that just rock? Rock and stone. It feels like there would be something secret out here on the moon. I'm gonna be real. At least that's what I would do if I was a game dev. But these guys are experienced game devs. So they might have been like, what if we did that? And then another person's just like, that we have no indication. They would be so frustrated if they didn't, if they missed it because they just didn't just randomly go about on the moon. You know? But they said they had a burial out here, which made me think, like, that's pretty interesting, you know? I would like to see if they put the grave out here. Or did they just shoot him into space? You know what I mean? But I'm not seeing any kind of indication of landmarks. I will be Googling it. I will be like... Can I, like, fall? I can't fall. But I will be like, hey, was there a certain thing outside that would be cool to interact with? And if there is, like, a secret indie by doing all the secret stuff, I will be doing that. Maybe not on stream, but I will be doing that. Because I feel like there was one section early on that I was like, I'll come back to this, and then I went beyond, like, being able to go back to. How are we doing? 2? Okay. They always give you refresh batteries and things that you need in order to progress the game, because that would suck, which is very good game design. Oh, the game is lagging a little bit because it's loading everything. Sup? Hey, your boy is back! Back again. Guess who's back? Back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Chapter 6, Legacy. I'm torn. Because we only really do need, like, a little bit longer and we're good to go. So I think what we'll do is I don't think we're going to beat this chapter in 15 minutes. So we're going to get to a point where we can save, right? And then we're going to call it. And then keep an eye out on YouTube, keep an eye on Twitch and or Discord. Like all the things that I announce when I go live. See, it might be tonight. We might do it early tomorrow. Or like just like Sunday chill day, but it's like, hey, I want to finish this first. There we go. All right. Save. And we are going to call it there. Let's actually do this so we can watch the screensaver. Ooh. Ah. So thank y'all for joining me today. It was wonderful having you. I wish I had enough time in order to beat this now, but we will do it either later today or tomorrow or, you know, soon. I don't think it's gonna fill up another whole part 4-hour situation, so I don't want to push it until Saturday. So keep a lookout. Let's see if there's anyone online to raid. Let's see here. Is there anyone that is to raid? Yeah, no one's on. Since no one is on, that is fine. I will let y'all go, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, and I'll see y'all tomorrow for some more chill, art, fun stuff. All right. See you then. Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.